been 2 days since Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah was eliminated. He headed a terror outfit that is banned by more than 20 countries and was involved in global terror attacks and political assassinations. He has been described as an even more dangerous incarceration of Al-Qaeda's Osama bin Laden. However, that has not stopped the politicians in Jammu and Kashmir from shedding tears for the dreaded terrorist. Leaders from both the NC and the PDP have shown solidarity with him, cancelling poll campaigns and even eulogizing him as a martyr, a humanitarian, almost portraying him as a messiah of peace.
कर रहे थे बट हार्ट साफ है भी हमारे दिल में बहुत दर्द है। आप जानते हैं नसरुल्लाह साहब ने जहां भी आज़ाबे शिकस्त जुल्म हो रहा था, खास तौर से गाजा में, उनने उन लोगों के लिए लड़ा जो उनके थे भी नहीं। He wasn't even from there. So our hearts are heavy and people here should have the right to protest. अगर वो प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? They want to protest against the Israeli policy of genocide. कैसे जाके वो वहां लेबनान में कार्पेट बॉम्बिंग कर रहे हैं, इसमें कोई गलत चीज नहीं है।
Hassan Nasrallah symbolizes the resistance against the oppression of Israel, and this resistance has been the backbone of whatever means of survival people of Palestine have and Lebanon have. To respect his martyrdom, I called off my campaign, and this is in solidarity with the people of Palestine and communalizing things. That's been the modus operandi of BJP.
Kashmir is on streets because, like me, everyone who believes in resistance will definitely condemn the killing of martyrdom of Hassan Nasrallah, because we are looking Hassan Nasrallah as an inspiration, and Hassan Nasrallah was a figure which was supporting the political legitimate struggle supported by the United Nations.
So these are the statements that came in from the leaders in the valley. Even today, there have been protests by Shia groups to mourn Nasrallah's elimination, with questions now being raised over the misplaced sympathy for a terror perpetrator. The Congress's defense is that Hezbollah wasn't declared a terror group by India. But former Jammu and Kashmir DGP asks, what about the real martyrs?
Ask him that it's his government in the center. Let them declare him to be a terrorist first. Why should we react?
कल एक हमारे हेड कांस्टेबल बशीर अहमद शहीद हो गए टेररिस्टों से लड़ते हुए मांडली के इलाका बिलावर तहसील डिस्ट्रिक्ट कठुआ में। उसके लिए कौन आया प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए? लेकिन यहाँ आंसू बहाए जा रहे हैं, प्रोटेस्ट की जा रही है कश्मीर में और लखनऊ में हिजबुल्लाह के फेवर में, जो हजारों मील दूर है।
What explains the irony and these tears that have come in from the leaders? Senior editor Pradeep Datta joining us on the broadcast. Pradeep, look at the irony. There are tears for a terrorist. He's the head of a terrorist organization in Beirut. There are tears and asking for mourning for it and whatnot by the politicians. No word about our Jawans, about our martyrs.
Yes, you're absolutely right. This is a case of selective shedding of tears. They are all tears and mourning for a terrorist who has got the hands soaked in blood, and they're trying to project him as a messiah of peace. And here was a head constable, Bashir Ahmed, who sacrificed his life while fighting with terrorists. He took bullets on his body. He kept on fighting till last breath. And not a single word has been uttered either by Mehbooba Mufti, Umar Abdullah, or any other political party leader in Kashmir Valley. That's really unfortunate. They said that Nasrallah has died, will not be going for campaigning. But they have forgotten one thing, that they are out for campaigning only because of people like Head Constable Bashir Ahmed. They are able to move from one place to another place. It is because of them, because it is because of their unwritten commitment towards the nation that at any cost they will try to ensure peace and prosperity and safeguard the life of each and every citizen, including Mehbooba Mufti. But not a single word was uttered by Mehbooba Mufti for this brave heart. Look at this Bilawar. This is 280 kilometers only from Kashmir Valley. And then Beirut, it is just more than 3,600 kilometers. For person who is a terrorist, who is living 3,600 kilometers away, they are thumping their chest, beating their chest, crying and shedding tears. But not a word for this brave heart who just died 280 kilometers away from Kashmir Valley. He is the one who took bullets on his body. He kept on fighting till end. Because why he lost his life? Because they wanted to ensure free and fair election, so that more and more people can come out to vote. They want to generate confidence among people that you need not worry. We are there standing like a rock to take bullets from their body. But Mehbooba Mufti will not speak for these brave-hearted men in khaki or men in olive. But she will try to shed tears for all these terrorists. What she is basically trying to do, she is trying to promote that terror narrative. By promoting the terror narrative, she is only trying to resurrect her dwindling political career, thinks that maybe she'll be able to grab few Shia votes. But he is not realizing that this is like playing with a fire. This dirty politics they had been playing for the last several years. This way they had only tried to encourage and embolden anti-India, anti-national elements, separatist elements. And once separatist elements will grow, once again the political space will shrink. They should be happy that there is a political space for them because all the separatists had been put behind bar after abrogation of Article 370. It is because of the good work of the police personnel there on the ground who had been able to bust and dismantle the ecosystem of terror. But this ecosystem of terror, the political ecosystem, is the most dangerous thing. See how they are trying to encourage such element, calling Nasrallah martyr. They are saying that this man has been killed and he has been fighting for the cause. What cause? He is a man who has got his hands soaked in blood, responsible for several killings, not only in Israel but in different parts of the world.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they will not be uttering a word for our brave hearts because of whom they can move out safely and securely in different parts of Jammu
Absolutely.
and Kashmir.
And give out such statements as well. They owe it to the martyrs, but they refuse to say it. Pradeep, request you to stay with us just a moment because it's not just those who are eulogizing him and calling him a humanitarian. Some are continuing to even call him, believe it or not, as a messiah of peace. Listen in.
नहीं बिल्कुल टेररिस्ट हसन नसरुल्लाह हिजबुल्लाह जो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो यूएनओ के चार्टर्ड के हिसाब से टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं है। टेररिस्ट वो होता है जो नाहक किसी को कत्ल करे। मैं भी उसको टेररिस्ट नहीं मानता क्योंकि
फरिश्ता तो नहीं कह सकते ऐसे शख्स।
बिल्कुल अमन का फरिश्ता।
अमन का फरिश्ता है।
इसलिए अमन का फरिश्ता है। जिस वक्त हमने अंग्रेजों से लड़ाई लड़ी तो अंग्रेज की नजर में तो हम भी दहशतगर्द थे।
In fact, just a day after confirmation that Lebanon-based Hezbollah's chief Hassan Nasrallah has been eliminated, the Israeli military said that dozens of aircraft struck Houthi targets in Yemen. The military said it targeted power plants and seaport facilities, and Israel Air Force has said that the counter-strike was in response to a recent attack on Israel. The Houthis had launched a ballistic missile attack on the Ben Gurion airport on Saturday when the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was just arriving.
כל מי שפוגע, מנסה לפגוע באזרחי מדינת ישראל, נגיע אליו. זה הכי פשוט, ונעמיד כל ערכה שנצטרך עם כל יכולת שיש לנו, ויש לנו פה עוד יכולות רבות להעמיק, להרחיב את הפגיעה.
Well, this is the second such Israeli attack on Yemen in just 2 months. In July, Israeli warplanes also struck Houthi military targets after a Yemeni drone had hit Tel Aviv and killed one. In fact, the Houthi media office also said that the Israeli strikes hit certain areas and ports as well, along with 2 power plants. It's also considered to be the stronghold of the Iranian-backed rebels. After the airstrikes in Yemen, the defense minister has also tweeted, and I quote, "The message is clear for us. No place is too far." In fact, the Houthis claimed that they had taken precautionary measures ahead of the strikes, emptying oil storages and ports, and asserted that these strikes will not stop the rebel attacks, shipping routes and on Israel. Let's go across to Pradeep, who continues to stay live with us. Pradeep, so clearly there has been an escalation, and as Israel has said as well, its targets are going to continue, and they're doing this in self-defense.
See, another words we can say what Israel is trying to convey is that no place is too far. That means ghar mein ghus ke marenge. That's what exactly Israel is doing, because they are saying that they have every right to defend integrity of the country. If anybody will try to target their country, they will have to face a similar kind of a fate what really happened in Lebanon. We have seen that it was not only in the northern side of the Lebanon that they had been targeted for the first time after 2006. We have seen that the bombardment even in the central Lebanon is continuing, because they are going to dismantle their ecosystem. They are trying to target all those bases where actually they have kept their infrastructure and weapons had been hidden. So we have seen that more than 7 of the top commanders, including Hassan Nasrallah have been killed. Even the daughter of Hassan Nasrallah has died in airstrikes. And the similar kind of airstrike was conducted even in the Yemen area. We saw that the ports and the power plants were targeted. So they are trying to hit them hard where it's going to hurt them most. That is what actually is the message from Netanyahu Benjamin. Because he says that they are not going to spare anyone who is going to target their countries, because every life in country matters.
Absolutely. Pradeep, request you to stay with us. Major General K.K. Sinha, defense expert, also joins us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. What does this mean for the Israel-Hamas war? The Houthis have claimed that they had taken precautionary measures ahead of these strikes, but Israel also going on to say that no target is too far.
Good afternoon, Jayan. Yeah, the Israelis have taken, IDF has taken, the sole responsibility for a hard hit, which started with Hamas, then Hezbollah, and now Yemen. In Yemen, because these are, they have taken a responsibility for the hard hit. You must understand this, and the world has to understand. Otherwise, as for the Yemen Houthi is concerned, there is, coalition of 12 nations which were carrying out this operation in the form of Operation Prosperity Guardian. But they were, and today there is a report that the 11th UAV, that is, it has been, shot down of Americans by the Houthis. But they are some short of the hard killing. In the area, especially the Houthis have taken 3 islands on which they have put the radar. They are not knocking them off. It has to be knocked off with the bunker busters, the way they have done it, especially into Lebanon and with Hezbollah. So the hard hit is being done by the Israelis, and they have to go all out on this. Again, the port of Houthi, which is there on the northwest side, that has to be taken out, because from there they are carrying out operations, and they have developed 3 more ports. So this has become a very dangerous situation as far as the Red Sea is concerned. The Red Sea, either you have to put the boot on ground by the coalition forces. As far as Israel is concerned, it is more than, approximately 1,500 kilometers. They have to carry out the refueling mid-air and then hit. But they are doing it. Hard hitting, the American and the coalition forces are not doing, which they have to do it. It can't be symbolic. Either they have to, enlarge from the bases which is there in Saudi Arabia for Americans, which are there in to the Persian Gulf. From there, they have to generate sorties. Israel is...
Okay, all right. Major General, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you for joining us. But like you mentioned, it could lead to more escalation. We have to wait and watch how this is going to proceed. In fact, the United States President Joe Biden had also said that he would speak with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and believes that an all-out war in the Middle East must be avoided at all costs. Listen into what he said.
Can an all-out war in the Middle East be avoided? It has to be. We really have to avoid it. We've already taken precautions relative to our embassies and personnel who want to leave, but we're not there yet. But we're working like hell with the French and many others.
Now, an apparent Israeli airstrike had hit central Beirut early on Monday for the first time in nearly a year of conflict. The strike near the Kola intersection, which is a major transportation hub, had hit a multi-story residential building. This is according to journalists, and these videos also from the scene showed the ambulance and a crowd gathering under the building where the strike appeared to have targeted one particular apartment. In the past week, Israel has frequently targeted Beirut's southern suburbs where the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah has a strong presence, but had not hit any of the locations near the city center. The area where the strike took place is in fact primarily a Sunni district with a busy thoroughfare lined with shops and residential buildings. There was no immediate comment from the Israeli officials on the latest targets. Pradeep, thank you for joining us with those inputs. We continue coming back to you for those updates. For now, slipping into a short break here. We'll be